Welcome to episode 3 of Garage Sessions, sponsored by Good Traffic every time. Today's guest, we've got Leo Camacho. Thanks for being here, Leo.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's a cozy couch.
Thanks for coming by. I know you came from far away, huh?
Yeah, 3 streets over.
Thanks for making the trip, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm excited to be here.
So yeah, let's start back. We've already been talking a bit, but let's go back to like your childhood.
Yeah.
So like, what made you who
This
you
weirdo?
are? Where did all this come from? Like parental influence, just
Sure.
product of your time. What is it?
I think it's a lot of all of those things. So I am the first American-born of my family.
Okay.
They are Cuban immigrants, so first generation Cuban American. And weirdly, I was born in Los Angeles instead of Miami, like most
Most Cubans.
yeah kids from immigrant refugee Cuban parents. I was just where their sponsor was, and so I grew up in LA, on the greater Los Angeles area. I'm from for those familiar, I'm from the San Gabriel Valley, the SGV 626. It's like the outer skirts of Los Angeles County, because Los Angeles is massive. I always joke it's where the minorities are. It's like all Mexicans, Filipino, Chinese, we're all out there.
And how far is this outside of LA?
I would say
hours?
like downtown LA.
Yeah.
I lived about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Via freeways, minimal traffic.
Right.
So I grew up out there to a family that was just trying to make the best they could and live the dream. And they were very hard workers and very disciplined type A people. And then they had this super creative kid who was the complete opposite and just wanted to explore his dreams. But I was really fortunate in that they gave me a lot of opportunities. I went to private school, but the neighborhood I lived in was a little bit rougher, and so I got exposure to a lot of different personality types. And I've always really valued perspective, especially because like my family, for example, wasn't even speaking English, and then I'm with all these kids in a private school that have like really nice houses, and it's like all these. I realized that there was a lot of ways to approach life very early on, and I was always drawn to creatively expressing myself and connecting with people through that creativity, because I'm an only child too. Okay. So like my brothers and sisters were whoever my grandma was babysitting that day.
Yeah, I got you. It makes you good at playing by yourself too. I was the youngest, and my parents or my brother and sister were always gone, right? Mm-hmm. So it was just like,
they're
like, here's your paper, and you go do something, right? So is that part of learning how to just doodle and all that?
And that's also, exactly. I was doing a lot of doodling, watching a lot of movies. My family was cool. Like, they're like, your video games, movies, like consume culture. Yeah, you know?
Well,
learn English.
We didn't know how, the downside of video games. And
well,
TVs.
To me, all upside.
Yeah. All
right?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Did you grow up speaking Spanish or English?
It was my first language. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I learned English in school before English ESL classes were available.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of a little.
You
bit
just
of a
learned
struggle.
it.
Just learned it
just by being there.
Yeah. And also like Legend of Zelda, I learned to read.
Is that how you learned Spanish or English?
I learned it in school. Yeah.
Spanish is your first language also?
Yeah.
Oh, where's your family from?
My family's from Peru, so I grew up speaking Spanish in the household.
I got Peruvian in my family too.
Really?
Yeah, because my cousin married my best friend from college who's Peruvian. So
that's
now
wild.
I got Cuban, Peruvian,
nice.
Mexican. Yeah,
It's a good mix. Yeah.
Dude,
Cuban,
spicy.
Peruvian.
Funny.
Yeah.
You got to be quick.
You wouldn't know it, right?
I'd never. Well, you're like me. Like we white pass like pretty significantly.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
We bust out Spanish once in a while, and people are like, "What the?"
You're in line at the bank, and there's a lady who needs help, and then you just jump in, and suddenly you're like saving the day. Yeah. Like they didn't see it coming. Diablo.
So, do you think you express yourself in Spanish or English?
It's funny you say that. It's so funny. No one's ever really kind of nailed it like that. I think I feel in Spanish, like my emotional connections in Spanish, but my thoughts and my like logic is all in English.
And you dream in English?
I dream in English too. Yeah, the description and like.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, but sometimes like someone will say something and I'm like, ay, cariño. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't have a word.
Certain words are better, right?
Some words are better expressed in Spanish.
Yeah,
You're just like,
it's so romantic. It's so poetic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I feel like the way you express an idea in Spanish is by like picking the words that best get you to the solution, as opposed to English, which is a little bit more like we can technically describe it. That's why like scientifically English tends to be a very dominant language, because we can get really into the minutia of a description and get very, very, very accurate. But when it comes to like
not up for misinterpretation.
Right, exactly. We don't want interpretation. We want to be very specific. Where in Spanish, it's kind of like it's kind of how you feel. You know what I mean? It's a little more
100%
poetic. So I feel like learning to express myself in a in an array of ways was a very successful tool that I built for myself. But also, that's my family was like very big on culture because they came to the States and like suddenly they have access to it because my mom came when she was like 17, so she was a little bit older, and so they were like drawn to it. So Disney was big in my house. Like I watched a lot of Disney movies.
I see.
Yeah, and like Nintendo was like, we got one, from the back of a guy's truck. You know what I mean? Like in a garbage bag, but we got one. And so like they were like, yeah, mijo, like this is why we came here, so we can have access to these things, like enjoy them. Yeah. And I was like, you don't have to tell me twice, I did.
They're like, here you go, America.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Totally, yeah. And then because we're Cuban, you're born with a baseball bat. So my family was big baseball fans. So I played sports. Yeah. They always felt like you can do one if you do the others. Yeah. Like if you're going to play video games, you also have to go outside.
Of course.
And so as long as you have that variety and that range, then you can do whatever you want. And we encourage you to try everything. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. If you like it, we'll support you. I was really lucky to have a family that was like that. And I feel like that kind of was the foundation of everything. It was like, I'm going to try this. And I'm like, great. I'm going to be an artist. Okay. Like,
all right, go for
it.
it.
That's not as serious a job as we would have liked, but we definitely support you. And they're happy they did now. But and that's. So then I went to school in Southern California. I grew up in Southern California. I never really knew what I wanted to do. I never really knew what my place was going to be. I always tried to fool myself into thinking, I'm going to be an architect. That's respectable. But I think I only said that because it sounded respectable.
Okay.
And I imagined I would still be at a table drawing for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You think it's going to be one way and it isn't. But I just always had wanderlust and always wanted to explore a million different things and experience people. And so, and then I did a million jobs. I worked in restaurants. I worked at GameStop. I worked at in a human resource company, staffing company, light industrial. I've worked in the space industry. I was always trying to find myself. But then as like social media sort of started becoming a little bit more on the forefront already in like my college years, I found a way to leverage it before people really had established any sort of proper approach to social media, like as early as like even Myspace. Okay. Like my very first endeavor was Myspace Music. Okay. I made a fake band. I made a fake video game a cappella band because I'm very, very nerdy. I love all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I made a fake video game a cappella cover band. And I used my graphic design ability, which I've been doing since I pirated Photoshop 4, off of like, not even LimeWire. I think it was Morpheus at the time because LimeWire.
Morpheus.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, I made posters. I did the background. I learned the HTML like everybody on Myspace did. I made songs that were totally fake, but like I still put them up and I really did it as a joke for my friends.
How did you create the songs? Were they like?
So like Mario Brothers, right?
Yeah.
You got the da 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 da, right? But then there's a bass line, and then like I would, and I would just layer them and make a song. Nice, and it wasn't great. It was more funny than anything. Sometimes I would make up words instead of doing just like dots and dots, and there was other people on the internet that thought that was funny that were also into Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And then they'd follow the page. And I found that by doing something to the fullest intent to entertain my friends, that it would also entertain
people. Cared, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
so that was a friendly welcome into like the internet world, right? I mean, you put something out there and like, well, you're a creative guy, so
but you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
you don't know, especially in the beginning. You're like, guys, check out this link, and then next thing you know, it has all these views. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
and like I was, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but like the human mind is just not equipped to deal with so many strangers looking at your stuff. And so quickly you try to find a way to duplicate the process, but still keep it original and unique. Yeah. And when you're new as a creative, like you see this with musicians all the time, like their first album is killer because every song they poured their heart and their soul. And then the next one, people are like, oh, they went commercial.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
well, they had to make another one. The first
Right.
one was they made because they needed to make it.
Yeah.
The
Right.
second one they made it because
You
they had
can't
to make
fake
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't fake that.
Totally.
Okay, so that was this was
So that
MySpace
was like my journey.
music page.
Yeah, that was MySpace music, and then
when was
from
this?
there, oh damn, this was probably.
How
Dang,
did
this
you
was like 2008, maybe 2007.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it was around maybe even sooner. I feel like anything pre-pandemic is lost to time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
big blur.
It's a blur.
Like one big.
But it opened up a lot of conversations with people that were trying to do stuff on social media for me. And I had some friends that thought it was cool and they jumped on and we performed shows. Like we opened for bands, local bands in LA
Really?
and stuff. Yeah, because it was funny. It got the crowd loosened up.
Okay.
And a lot of video game concerts and a lot of video game shows we were asked to come be at that I didn't even know existed. And I was like on the radio and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
There's something here. And my friends were like, this is not what we want to spend our time doing. But I was like, this is exactly what I want to spend my time doing.
This is what you wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just like kept doing it, and eventually that led to me like hosting a show about video game and computer peripherals. They're like, "Oh, you're like a nerdy guy, and like you can talk. So would you get in front of a camera and talk about the newest keyboards and gamer laptops that came out this week from Alienware?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
This is before podcasts were a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
as a matter of fact,
who asked you to do this? Like, where did this come? They found you online.
So yeah, so that one, it's really funny because that one was, I was doing the video game music, and then there was a girl who was trying to host an indie radio show about video game music that had me on, and then she got asked to host a show for Intellivision Atari, like the console at some like gaming center, and asked us to perform. And then someone saw that and then said like, "Hey, I'm starting this local like." We're trying out this new technology called streaming, and we need just like personalities that come in and just like be on camera.
You're not gonna forget this.
Yeah,
one.
on Justin.tv, which ended up becoming Twitch.
No way.
Yeah, so like when they were but it's funny because back then all that they streamed was like other like South American streaming soccer games for other countries to watch and stuff like that. It was like such a wild west, you know. Obviously, it became this crazy industry that it is today, but back then people were just figuring it out. And I just kind of kept going from opportunity to opportunity and just trying to make my way downtown. And and then I've always been the person that's just like, if there's an open door, I'll just walk through it to see where it leads.
Yeah, and try it out. Trying new things.
Trying new things and see who I end up with and try to look for my people and just make the best of everything. I've never really been that good at like standing out on my own. I like being part of projects with other individuals who like are like-minded or they need a piece to complete their team. I've always liked to be that guy, and I was really good at finding my place on these teams that needed guys that had ideas or understood social media or understood community or like could make something a little bit funny or could do some graphics. It's like just a jack of all trades type of
Yeah, you got a lot of skills, and these are all self-taught, from what I understand.
Yeah,
right?
just
like
this is the product of being
intrigue.
lonely.
A lot of time on your hands.
Yeah, only child syndrome.
Yeah.
You know, you get good at hobbies. Yeah, just like I hyper obsess, and anything that I find interesting, I like pour myself into it until I'm competent, and then I lose interest. You know, if there's no application beyond that.
I understand. So you want to get like pretty good, and then yeah.
Because I always say my superpower is being really mediocre at everything.
Everything. Yeah.
And so like, you know, that comes in handy in a lot of situations.
Yeah, true jack of all trades. Yeah.
Jack of all trades, master of a few, I say, one or two.
Yeah.
Just enough to know, to identify talent and put those people in positions to succeed.
I see.
Right? Like, I feel like that's really where I shine, is like finding other people that are good at something and connecting them to the right person, or creating space for them. Like maybe they didn't see that opportunity for themselves, and I can like put them in that position to succeed. I've never really, it would seem a lie because I've been a cosplayer and an actor and a host and I'm always on camera. But the reality is because I liked being part of that production team, and I liked cosplaying with a group, and I just like being parts of things. You know, I like being parts of communities. That's why I love New York so much. You go outside and the guy knows your order at the bodega, and you feel like connected to that guy.
That's great. All right, so when you were doing that, the band, the MySpace music.
Yeah,
so
Push Start was
when.
the name of the
Okay,
band.
so what's it called?
Push Start, like
Push
like
Start.
Nintendo. Like
Oh, love that.
It all ties together.
Push Start. This was in LA.
this was in LA. Yeah,
Okay, so what point did you like? How long have you been in New York?
6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm 43, so it's kind of
So you moved here when you were 37.
yeah. I moved here for my now wife.
Okay.
We met on a Disney cruise, as we were invited by Disney as content creators.
Yeah.
and we dated long distance for a year. And then the pandemic hit, and she was trapped in LA with me, and it forced us. We always knew trapped. It got you now. I had to create a global pandemic to fool him into being with me.
Started on a boat. Got it on a boat.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you should fly out to LA. I think something terrible is going to happen to the entire planet. So because she was actually scared because New York was pretty rough those first couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
She was like, I don't feel comfortable. Can I come
Yeah,
out?
that happened to a lot of people. Like, all right, I got to get out of here, and wherever they went, that's kind of where they ended up.
She bought a ticket. The day she said that to me, she bought a ticket that day, flew to LA. The next day they announced the quarantine. So she's like, and she brought like one suitcase.
Good thing she did, right?
Yeah.
She probably thought it was gonna last like 1 or 2 weeks. Like
Totally.
I did. Yeah.
And then it's a month, and then it's 6 months.
But you guys had been dating long distance for a year before that. So you're like
just
a
shy of
COVID relationship, but like a
pre-COVID.
COVID acceleration.
Yeah. Well, and even more so, like because we were long distance, we never had a phase. I always say this, but like I never had a pick you up at 8 phase, right? It was like either I'm staying with you or you're staying with me, right? And we are basically living.
You never
at each
stayed
other's
in the
houses.
same vicinity, but in different locations.
Yeah. Right. It's never like I drop her off.
Yeah.
It was like I'm staying with you. You know, it would be more like I'm leaving you for 2 weeks.
Right.
And so we did that for a year, and I was actually in New York way more than I was in LA that year. And then we had to have that serious conversation, like, what's the plan here?
Which way are we going?
Yeah. And you know, when you're trapped in a tiny little room in North Hollywood, you got to work out the kinks in your relationship, and it makes you or it breaks you.
Facts.
Yeah, 100%.
And it made us. Like it forged us, dude. Like it was like, whoa. Like we always talk about it. If that wouldn't have happened, we were definitely in love, and we definitely had these strong. But that galvanized us in a way that I can't even. Because it also, that's when TikTok blew up, and that's when she started doing video, and I started helping her make those videos.
Okay.
And that's when she became like, she was always a content creator, and she was always successful. But that launched her into her newest, like her current era of content creation
During COVID.
Yeah, and I got to see that blossom, and I got to see that create, and I got to be a part of it. Like, let me help you
Yeah,
because I
right
support
there.
it. I do it too.
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
understand it. And
You
it
found
was
your
like,
role on the team, man.
I found my role on the dude. Wait a minute, I wasn't ready to get like that introspective. That's such a really great point. I love supporting her.
Yeah.
Like that's my role. Is I get to be like her supportive partner who like doesn't shame her for wanting to make content because a lot of people they look down on it. You know, they're like, you just look at your camera or whatever. You know, like they don't understand how it works.
They don't get it, yeah.
And like for
Just wake up, look at your camera.
Yeah,
hit
like,
record,
oh, what,
dude.
bro.
Push start, everything.
yeah, hey, no, that's
Good.
banned. That's trademarked. You can't use that. But yeah, that's how people view it, and they don't realize that it is hard work and it is like a sacrifice. Like it takes a chunk of your life.
Yeah.
Whereas she saw me and like I was willing and I was able and I was like, I can also edit. I can do Photoshop. I can do all these. It's a partnership made in heaven.
All
you
right.
know?
So that was when you met. So you guys met in 2016.
We met in 2019. And then,
2019.
And then the pandemic happened, and then we moved to New York. So I've been here since 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 years.
6 years.
So you had accumulated all these skills in order to help your wife with the Photoshop and all this.
Yeah.
I want to talk about like you from 25 to 37. Like what were you doing? You said odd jobs,
That
but like how
was-
long were you doing each one of these things?
Yeah. That's the transition.
Where did you build these skills?
Yeah. So my dad was he was a regional director of for a staffing company that like provided temps to like light industrial manufacturing distribution centers, stuff like that. 300 temps at a time. I spoke more Spanish than I did English at that time, and I was like employing people, and I was like, this is a good job, but it's not my job. And I was there for 5 years with my dad. And I realized I got to do something else. And that's when the social media thing was sort of starting to get it. And so I applied for a job at this company called X Prize, specifically the Google Lunar X Prize. And I was like, hey, I'll help you guys create content. I understand social media and communities and stuff. Never thought I would get the job. I thought that was way out of my scope. You know what I mean? I didn't even graduate. I didn't.
What did they see in you though? Like
creative guy who understood how to put stuff on the internet and
Yeah.
get people to see it.
a guy who had a Myspace page when he was what? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, exactly. I was like 7. I guess I was already in college. Now I'm old. You know? But even in high school, I had tried to make blogs and stuff.
yeah.
like
So
that.
you okay?
I
so
understood,
you fit
and I could
the
write,
mold.
and I was a
Yeah.
graphic designer, and I understood social media, and those 3 skills were like very valuable to have in one person. And so they hired me, much to my surprise. I was there for almost 5 years, helping the Google Lunar X Prize kind of transition from just only speaking to the space industry and people who cared about that, because it was a incentivized competition that was a spiritual successor to Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic. Basically, it's what it's built on. And so, like, now I'm getting audiences to read these articles and like see these things, and I'm really learning like the flow of the algorithm. And then I'm like, well, what if I do it a little bit for myself here and there and just see what it works? Right. And that's when the Disney stuff started happening. And then while I'm working at X Prize, I get my very first brand deal, and it was the very first time I ever saw the word influencer written down in a contract.
In a piece of paper.
Yeah, and it was Disney, and they reached out to me, and they sent me to offer me this opportunity to send me to Australia to film Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and like be in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I was
That's so random.
whoa.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to do this.
So you were making content particularly around Disney?
At that time, yeah. It was like Disney cosplay, like putting stuff on Tumblr, you know. Like,
and was this because this was like, you know, this is what you cared about the most? Or you saw like an opportunity in a space that was...
It was all
underserved. Okay.
Yeah, because at the time, like fandoms were kind of starting to just get a foothold. They weren't what they were now. And so like any content that pertained to fandoms would do really well because people just wanted to talk about them with each other. And I am a big Disney fan, and all of those things I'm a fan of. But I just happen to look like the character Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid, you know? And so I know.
Put that on the screen. They're going to put it on the screen so right side by side so you can see.
Well, I have a beard now. I look like more like his dad now.
Yeah.
But I'll send you cosplays. But I was also like, I really love costuming and stuff like that since I was a kid. And so I made like, you know, videos about it and took photos and stuff like that. And they would just go viral. And then Disney, BuzzFeed wrote an article on me. It went viral. And then Disney saw that and they sent me. And I went to Australia. I met Johnny Depp. I filmed a scene with him. It got cut from the film, but I still have all the photos and stuff. I still have to do it.
And you met him.
I met him and it was like, it changed my life. And when I saw that, I was like, wait. I feel like I started off with a false pretense because like I'm like, oh, this is the first one I've ever gotten. They're all going to be amazing. I didn't realize like I was going to start off with such a like top
got a
tier.
big home run hit.
Yeah,
like,
I got
right
a home run
at
my first at bat.
And you're like,
for
oh,
sure.
you're gonna strike out sometimes.
Yeah, I struck out a lot too. Yeah. I'm Otani over here. When they're big, they're big. Yeah, then I came back and I thought, how do I do something with this? You know?
Yeah. How do you keep the momentum going?
Yeah, and they were really cool. They offered me an opportunity to step away. They were like, you won't lose your job, but like take 3 months. Like, I think you should pursue this. Give it a shot. And if you want to come back, you can. And if not, like, you know, you'll always have an open door.
That's a cool thing.
Social media, acting, like all of it. Yeah. You know, like what I didn't really know. I didn't really know what I was doing. Like I said, I'm kind of a fumbler. I just kind of moved through life.
And this was primarily Instagram?
Or
YouTube?
At this time, it was YouTube, Instagram, and Tumblr, funny enough.
Tumblr.
Yeah.
I remember Tumblr,
Yeah. Tumblr was always like my photos would do really well.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was just kind of a mix of all of it. And I don't even feel like my stuff was really that successful on its own. I was really kind of funny, to stay on theme, I was always in other people's content, right? So they would have me as a character in their show, or they would have me host their content. Like, hey, can you come cover Comic-Con this year for us?
Okay.
So I'd be like, hey, what's up, guys? Leo Camacho here at Comic-Con 2016, and we're going to take a look at all of the new anime cosplays.
This is longer form content.
Yeah, long form content, short form content, anything.
Okay, anything.
I was just like a gun for hire in the social media personality world.
Okay.
You know, it'd be
at that point, was it all word of mouth? Like, oh, this guy, like.
Well, I was in like that network now.
Yeah.
Like I knew all the people and like, oh yeah, because a lot of guys I knew weren't famous when we started, and then became famous YouTubers. And then like, you know, they would recommend me to, oh, he's really good. You should do him.
Built a whole, you know, you guys are jumping on each other's backs.
Totally. A rising tide floats all boats, and we were all looking at each other. And then also it's like a thing of trust. Like I can trust the quality of what you're going to do, or like, I know your humor, or I know that you you understand this really well, and having your insight would be really useful. And so, yeah, I just jumped around a lot, and I made that was like my living for years.
So they said 3 months. You took the 3.
I didn't
you never
even
came back.
like 1 month in. I was like, I'm not coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I was.
You
also
can
like
have your
booking
other
that
60
game.
days. Yeah, I'm gone.
Yeah, and I was like, thank you, and they're like, well, if you ever want to come back, doors open.
Right.
It was, which is awesome, like a dream.
Yeah, that is
scenario.
very nice. I mean,
Yeah, but I really love the space industry, and that's the reason I even applied for that in the first place, was because I love science, and I love like trying to have people educated in like the natural world and like the things that we're doing as humanity to create these advent technologies that are moving us into the future. We take that for granted because it's also instant and so like passive. Like smartphones are just doing all the work for us. But somebody's out there figuring that out, and I think it's important to highlight those stories. It's,
like we just show up and it's here, and we complain that it's dead.
Is the mic levels good?
Yeah,
Who created
somebody
this digital?
made this, dude.
Yeah.
You don't know the first thing about this thing.
Yeah. Imagine if like every book was destroyed, right? How long would it take for us to get back to this level?
Dude, I think
No,
it's
yeah.
like the people who was a comedian talking about like people complaining about the Wi-Fi on the airplanes. It's like, dude.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi is so slow up here, man. Like, come on. It's like, dude, it's a Wi-Fi. You're in a flying metal tube in the middle of the sky going 500 miles an hour. You couldn't do any of this stuff.
I will not close the window. I want to see that. That's me. I'm like a little kid, like constantly my face glued to the window, always wanting to see the world and share it. Really, that's like I want to be like that. I've always wanted to be that conduit that like connects people. Like that's always been I feel like my calling, I don't know.
Wait, so when you say space industry, like what exactly is?
So the Google Lunar X Prize was an incentivized competition. It was a $30 million prize purse based on Charles Lindbergh crossing the Atlantic. It was to create the first privately funded robot, send it to the room, like a privately chartered rocket, send it to the moon, accomplish a set number of objectives, and like send that data back to Earth. And the first team that could accomplish that, independent of government funding, they could have up to 10% government funding, but most largely independent of government funding would receive that $30 million prize purse, which ironically is not enough to cover the
I was about to say, that
endeavor.
doesn't sound like enough.
No,
to
but it
go to-
recuperates
Yeah, it
some
sounds
of the
like
funding.
half a rocket,
Half a rocket, right? Yeah, the rocket alone is like
one
10
shot.
million. To broker like a spot on that rocket is already $10 million, right?
Yeah.
But the exposure that it would gain you if you're a technology company or a space company, or like, because the industry isn't just sending astronauts up; it's like satellites, it's data collection. Also, one of the things that we accomplished was we created like all of the official sort of paperwork, or at least the processes to begin sort of understanding how do we create a legal identity around landing on the moon, right? Because if I go to the moon, I always used to joke, if I go to the moon and I have a shotgun, I own the moon, right?
Yeah, like who does own it, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? If you come to the moon,
Who's governing
Is
that?
it like
Who's governing?
international waters? Like what is
right?
the?
Because there's so much stuff on the moon. There's Chinese robots, there's Russian robots. This is up there. And if I go up there and I'm a U.S. entity and I come across that Chinese robot, can I touch it? Can I break it? Can I steal it?
Can I kick it?
Yeah, can I kick it? And like,
I
yes,
ride
you
it?
can. And so, like, what is the legislature around that? Right? It's how do we stop it from being the Wild West? And those questions have never been raised until this prize because there's never been a reason to.
Right.
So because of that, we had like board members from SpaceX and Richard Branson from Virgin Galactic, and Blue Origin was involved, which is Jeff Bezos' space company. All those billionaires are all trying to do space because that's where the trillionaires will be made. How do we mine helium-3 from the moon? All of these questions, like how do we put a foothold in space so that when we expand to be an extraplanetary civilization, we have these, benchmarks that are pushing us in that direction. Like Elon wants to go to Mars, right? But how do we do that if no one's doing it?
Right.
So that's, I was a nerd for all that because it was the closest to Star Wars you could get.
About to say, yeah.
Yeah. Like this will compare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you go to space? Like,
It's so funny. I was
would
just asking somebody that today. Yeah, I would totally.
You would go.
How long?
What is the what was
I would
the,
pay
what was
money
the
for
one
that.
where there was like I don't know if this was like a thing on TikTok or something, but or maybe it was real. It was like there's a seat to some place, but if you got it, you don't come back. Like
that's
people
Mars
were like,
One. Mars One. That's Elon Musk.
right?
Yeah,
so then
so-
like you have a family, you're like goodbye.
It's over. Your life stops on Earth and you go to Mars, and that's the rest of your life. And that's to start like terrestrializing it and like colonizing it. And like, that's definitely not happening for a long time. We just do not have the resources and technology or like the reason. Like,
Yeah, like what are you gonna do when you're there? You're gonna
we're still trying to understand what
out.
we can even do there. Right? Hey guys, I made it.
What's up, dude? What now?
Can't get an Uber.
Yeah, this just turns out there's nothing up here.
Not a whole lot. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe opening a little coffee shop or something, but we work. But so that's those questions are fascinating, right? That's the next step in civilization, and it's like cool to like. I'm not really contributing to that development, but I'm like privy to the people that are, and that was really fascinating.
That's cool. That's a cool space to be in.
As a matter of fact, my job was to go to travel to these seminars and like teach these teams of rocket scientists, literally some of the smartest people on the planet, how to post a tweet.
Yeah,
Because they're amazing at doing what they do, but they're amazing at doing what they do, but they're terrible at telling other people about it.
right.
Because they're just locked in their little rooms and they're doing the math and they're doing the thing and
They're just doers.
They're just doers.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to spin the tail. And that was my job. Like, how do I make this how do I capture the essence of what makes this incredible? This is the extent of the human endeavor, right? You don't push the boundaries without these people.
Right.
And yet no one even knows what they're doing.
Right.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I want this story to be told. And that is social media. I just stopped doing it for robots and started doing it for my wife, or started doing it for the new Marvel movie or whatever it is,
Yeah, 100%.
It's pretty fascinating. Those universal things that apply to creative work.
Were there things that overlapped in terms of how you posted something and how well it did when you posted it? From like
I didn't really know it that well back then. I was just winging it.
It's kind of like testing around.
Yeah. But some things, there are some constants. Volume. Back then,
Same thing. Consistency.
Yeah, consistency. Consistency is king.
Yeah.
I that's always been the golden rule, regardless of the era. Consistency is king. What took time to figure out, and back then it was much more about scheduling. Like, we post that Tuesday at 3.
Yeah. Is that not a thing anymore?
No, now you just post.
Whenever.
Post. Yeah. Repost.
Because you also don't see now the post necessarily. Like sometimes I see things like a day after, but it looks like it just happened, and I'm like, interesting.
Or later
why
gramming.
me? Yeah.
Like, I did this 3 days ago, but I'm posting this today.
Right.
But it's new to you.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. There's so much content that all that's important is being amongst the content, right? And yeah, there's timing initiatives that you can kind of aim for, like what time is my target demographic most likely to be awake if I am posting this now to get an initial boost in my engagement. But sometimes you just wake up and overnight it did well.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it got big in India. Maybe it got big in Europe or something like that. You don't really know.
So it's a global thing.
It's a global thing.
The time zones are irrelevant at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have your like primary demographics, but it could, you never know.
Yeah.
Like, especially like if I do something where one thing actually, this is really interesting. We started transcribing our content to where I'm still speaking English, but all the subtitles are in Spanish.
Yeah.
I just like, my wife is like, how do you say that? Like, what are you saying here in Spanish? And I like tell her and she writes it down, which now she doesn't even have to do because AI can just do it for her, which is wild. As a matter of fact, AI now takes my voice and makes me speak Spanish in my own voice.
Really? And it
Automatically
sounds like
on Instagram.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
natural.
great.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which is fine because you actually speak Spanish.
I actually do speak
You know what I
Spanish.
mean? If it was me, I'd be like, this is a little bit like.
Be a little bit
But
weird.
you know what I mean? Like,
You're denying Colombians the ability to get your vibe, dude. Like, just let them have it. Why not? Give them access.
yeah.
And as a matter of fact, that's how my wife got big. She was a YouTuber before anything, and she speaks French. She learned French. She's not French. She's incredible. She went to school and studied it and loved it and lived abroad, and now she speaks it like a native French speaker.
Okay.
And so she started a YouTube channel where she would just get ready and put on her makeup, but would speak in French about her life in America. And it gave French people access to an American perspective in the French language.
Boom.
Right? It's all about accessibility and like giving people that window into a world.
Also super niche, right?
Super.
Well, not niche, but like in terms of, creative.
Generally,
Who else is doing that?
generally, right. And at the time, like, oh my God, a rarity.
An American that speaks French in France?
Yeah.
Right? In France?
In America.
Oh, in America. Okay.
Yeah, but she lived in France, so she understands customs. She understands like the nuances of like the cultural differences, and she can articulate them very well. And people were just like, "This is the insight I've been waiting for."
Really?
There's this guy I follow now. I think his name is Takeshi from Japan. And he's a Japanese guy in Japan who can speak English and interviews people in English and Japanese about their life in Japan.
I think I
love that dude.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, oh, that's what
super interesting.
that's what it's like to live there.
Yeah.
So if you're an expat and you live in Japan, that's your experience, or that's what you've gleaned off of the Japanese culture when it's not your native culture. You know, like how else would I get that information? You know, it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
And there's something for everybody. Everybody's interested in, there's somebody who's interested in everything.
Well, I find myself being interested in things that I didn't even know I was interested in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like, well, I don't know to what extent, right? But like, yeah, just watching the most like, dude, I've been watching these videos of the guys with like the little saws and they do these like obstacle courses where they cut ropes and then
the
like,
lumberjack competition.
yeah, and it's like, I'm like, dude, this is sweet. Like,
Yeah.
but like,
This
how
is
did
life.
this find me? You
Yeah.
know, like,
It's like, hey, you like weird hobbies?
yeah, you like chopping wood, dude. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
like,
you know
yeah,
what?
kinda.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? What's up
Yeah.
with this?
But then the other thing is, you know what? It'll fade and it'll be gone in a few
Yeah.
weeks.
But for
It'll
a
be
while, you
something
got,
else.
yeah. But there's some people that were like, I just found something that I didn't even know I'm completely obsessed with.
Obsessed with.
And now I got to watch every video.
Yeah, true.
Right.
I
For you, it was a
haven't
moment in
found
time, a
my-
flash in the
Yeah, it was
pan.
a flash in the pan.
But for them, it was like, future defined. You never know.
Yeah.
Or community, like, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't know others did this.
I've got
too.
this tool. I've been wanting to
Yeah.
use it.
Well, with going back to my video game band, the reason it all worked out is because I did these, and then I found that there were other video game bands that were also doing it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this is so cool!" So we would set up shows together, and at one point, I remember I can't believe I did this. It's funny. It's similar to what you were saying, how like when you got the job to come produce, you just came out here and got in a dude's car and made a video, and you didn't know what was going to happen.
Get in the back of the truck, man.
Yeah, get in the back, turn on the camera. I did something similar. I had these guys that were like, "Hey, man, we live in Flint, Michigan, and we're going to perform in Detroit. You want to come out and like open for us?" And I
From
was like,
LA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they were just a small band too, and I was like, "Hell yeah, dude!" And I just,
Pull stop.
what's that?
Pull stop.
Pool stop?
It's the opposite of.
Pull stop. Yeah. Push
start.
start. Pull stop.
Oh my God!
Wait, actually, for a second, I was like, wait, is that the opposite or no? Like, yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, pool stop. Dang, dude.
Pull stop.
Dang, dude.
I almost tripped myself out on that.
I'm gonna be thinking about that for weeks.
That's good.
That's
dude.
good.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what?
Pull stop.
Nah, dude.
That's gonna be my username.
Nah, you're like, no, dude.
Pull
It was
stop.
push start. Like, what are you talking
That was
about?
the old days. I'm full stop.
Yeah,
now.
I'm full stop now.
Instead of full stop, it's full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to Flint, Michigan, which was crazy. And I stayed at this dude's. They lived in a trailer, and I stayed there, and I just like had the greatest time.
That
and
is
met
a
these
wild
people.
story, dude.
Yeah.
That
And I
is
went and
crazy.
performed in Detroit at the IROC, and I was on stage, and the crowds were jumping. I was like, all these nerds.
And you playing? What are you playing?
I was just like rapping. I was rapping about video games. Yeah.
Oh, you were using your voice.
Yeah, I was on like I'm a character from Final Fantasy. I'm the black mage, you know.
Wow.
All the bitches call me lucky because I'm magically delicious. You know, like I was like,
Dude, super creative though. I mean,
yeah, I was
this
just
is
having
like,
fun.
yeah.
I was just goofing around. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just taking the opportunities because I knew that otherwise I never would have had them. I'm like, when else am I going to be able to like perform at some venue in Detroit? I'm not a musician, but like this is giving me access to an experience that I will never ever get in any other way. So I might as well take it and learn from it and see what it means to me and see how it defines me, see how I rise to the challenge, see where I fall short. You know, I'll never know unless I do it.
Yeah.
And then because I've always been that. I'm like, there's an opportunity, even if it doesn't seem like it fits, I'll do it just to
Yeah.
gain that perspective.
Have you ever done something like that and regretted it? Like, or been like, okay, maybe I should have not. Or no, it's always been a good thing to just put yourself out there.
I think
and
even the bad situations teach you
learn
that.
something.
Yeah, because like it gives you edge.
Yeah.
You know, you learn to navigate the tricky ones. And like, yeah, maybe in the moment it's uncomfortable, but like you're like, now I know how to deal with that.
I'm talking like there was nothing like, look,
Nothing beneficial came like it
there's
hurt
nothing
me.
dangerous, right? Like, I mean, like, come on, you're in Detroit at in some guy's trailer, like you.
That was dangerous.
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? Like,
That could have
but
gone
nothing's
wrong.
ever.
I would say like I guess my judgment has always been like at least good
You
enough.
trust yourself.
Yeah, I
Your
trust
gut.
myself on my decisions, and I wouldn't have taken if it was like too shady. But you know, it's like you have online friends, I feel like nowadays that's not even that uncommon. Back then it might have been weird to be like, you're gonna go stay at a
You
stranger's
meet
house.
this
and meet on the
guy who like
internet.
sent you a letter. Yeah.
Yeah, now that's dating. You know, like
You're gonna stay at this guy's house you met on the internet? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, my
I mean,
husband
literally-
now.
how many people that you ask, how did you guys meet? And they're like, oh, dating,
Yeah.
dating app.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. Tinder.
This is true.
It was Tinder for nerds. Yeah, I don't think there's any like truly like bad opportunities where I'm like, oh, I should have done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe like an investment here and there that didn't work out the way I
Okay,
planned,
yeah.
but you
It's
know,
not dangerous.
It's
though,
not
yeah.
dangerous. Yeah, I would say I've never really. But also, I'm the kind of person that I tend to like find a way to navigate. Like even if the situation starts getting a little hairy, I could talk my way out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Find a way to be on the side of the person who wants to kill me. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Yeah.
Make them like me, and then we'll redirect that aggression to something.
Yeah.
else.
So in terms of, you mentioned acting and
Yeah.
hosting. Like,
Yeah.
how long was this endeavor? What was the longest thing you did, like as a podcast host or
Yeah,
an
yeah.
actor? How long did you try? Did you want to be an actor?
I did. Actually, I wanted to be an actor more than all of it.
Okay.
But my ADD really was my enemy there. But I would say like I probably spent about 10 years trying to do all that stuff. The area I found most
Is this why you were in LA?
no, I was born there.
Okay.
And I just was like, oh, I live in LA. I should take up this opportunity and like take advantage of this opportunity and like try to go make it in entertainment. I live here, you know, and I'm a natural clown. So, you know, but I think the thing that I found most success in was hosting.
Okay.
Because I was good at like talking on the fly with people, and I really knew all these subject matters, so it made me like a good diverse host.
Yeah.
And so I did that the most. But I tried acting. I did like a commercial or 2 or 3. I did some plays, even though I'm not really a theater kid. I just like took the opportunity. Like I performed in this Harry Potter play in Ireland once, just because I wanted the experience. I was like,
That's
yeah, I'll do it.
wild.
I'll be Sirius Black. You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah. I just jumped from gig to gig. That's how I was making my living too. Like I couldn't say no.
Okay.
Because you don't know when the next one's coming.
couldn't
I
be
wasn't
picky,
like,
yeah.
I wasn't crushing it.
Right.
I was just getting by. And then like doing freelance work, like I was always doing design on the side.
Okay.
While I was doing all of it.
So
I
that was paying the bills.
it was paying the bills.
Okay.
It was enough to pay the bills, which was cool, all I could ask for. Like the fact that I got to do what I loved and pay the bills.
Yeah.
But I loved character acting. I loved doing any opportunity I got. But all my roles were always like, I was always sort of like this. I was always like a prince,
Or
or
found like a theme. Or like
I was always like,
yeah.
When I would always joke because anytime I did like quote unquote like a modeling gig, I was always a groom in a wedding. So I used to call myself the rent-a-groom, and it was always like fantasy weddings where I was like the princely groom,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the groom charming,
Right. Yeah.
So I kind of did because I always joke that I look like. Whenever a video game allows you to create your own character, I'm the default that it starts at before you're allowed to start modifying. I just kind of look like everybody.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And maybe I didn't apply myself as much as some of the more serious actors that were trying to make it. I was just sort of like flying by the seat of my pants, hoping to get gigs, and not the best approach. If you're going to do that, and I definitely that a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm just from LA, and I was like, if a gig comes. Whereas people who move there are like,
they got a mission
intention.
and they need to get it done at a time. It's a timeline.
Yeah, that's always been my problem. Is like focus. I
Right.
think is something I've always struggled with, and I have to really be into it, and then I'm locked in, and then
Yeah.
you can't break my focus at all. Like I'm so fifth dimension, that's where I exist. Whereas acting was like, I love whenever I get to do it, but I also want to go host. I also want to go make a video. I want to go do this thing.
It wasn't like your true passion. It was just something
Right,
that,
something I just really enjoyed doing.
yeah, you just liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, you talked about your partner. So is your partner the one that does the design studio? What you're doing today? Like
Yeah, so now I have my own creative studio. We focus on games. We're called Creatist Games, and we're 3 owners with a few other partners and contractors and stuff like that that we use whenever we need them. But I'm the head of creative. I've got a head of production. He does all of the supply chain, all of the product development, like
the actual
physical making of the stuff.
Yeah.
And then I've got the head of ops, so he does all of the sales, and he's doing all of the infrastructure and doing all of the brand introductions to the stakeholders that be at the client end that then brings it over to us, and he's like, here's the wizard. He'll make the magic. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, that's one of the themes we're trying to instill is like what is our own identity internally? And like one of the ways that we've been playing around with that is like leaning into the whole RPG fantasy kind of trope. And it's like, okay, what's your class? And I'm like, well, I'm the wizard because I have to like cast a spell on people and like make magic happen and like, you know, it would make the impossible physical. And then like the head of production, I'm like, he's like the artificer, or like the blacksmith. He's
blacksmith.
Physically creating these mechanisms.
Hammering stuff together.
Yeah, and then the other one is like, you're like our navigator. You're like the captain of the ship. You know what I mean? Like you're steering us in the right direction, taking us to port, making sure we're where we're supposed to be. Yep. And you know, all of those roles are really important on a team. And so that, and then we have like, you know, the lady who's like in charge of like maintaining all the systems, and she's like actually like on the boots on the ground ops person, and you know, she's just as essential as a CEO would be, because without her, none of that stuff gets done. And then now I have to do it. Now I can't focus on my creative. It's like every single piece is essential, you know. But yeah, it's making games is hard.
It's hard.
How'd you guys meet each other?
It's hard.
So we used to work at Loot Crate. It's how I met the main partner. And Loot Crate was a subscription-based monthly box of goodies for nerds that utilized YouTubers as marketing, and they were one of the first companies to do so. They were huge at their peak. They had 750,000 monthly subscribers to their package, and they had different variations. Like
it's a lot.
Basic
of stuff
one was
to
$20,
move
and then the deluxe were $50, and then the Fallout edition box exclusive was $30, and then there was the Deadpool box, and then there was like the sports boxes. So you can be, if you were a Dodgers fan, you can get the Dodgers.
So
box.
you get multiple boxes.
Yeah,
So
so
750,000 people, but they might be getting multiple things each month.
Yeah. It was. I mean, he crushed it. It was a huge endeavor, my now partner was the head of one of those divisions, Loot Wear, which was only clothing.
Okay.
It was just apparel, nerdy apparel. And I was brought on to help kind of create content around that, produce photo shoots, social media content, come up with creative marketing campaigns and stuff like that.
When was this?
This was...
You still in LA, or this
was
a
in
New York
LA.
job?
Everything's in LA. Oops.
Okay.
Everything's in LA, basically.
Okay.
Except for now. Now the games and the content I do in New York. But, this was, I would say this probably started around 2015, 2016, maybe. No, maybe even earlier, maybe 2014. I can't quite remember. It was like definitely a few years. Whenever Loot Crate was at its prime, which it's tough to remember
peak.
now.
Yeah.
It's peak. And then we ended up eventually leaving that. And then when I moved to New York, because basically the pandemic shut down all of my entertainment endeavor. No more acting, no more hosting. I'm not going out to events anymore. Like I'm stuck.
I'm not allowed to. Yeah.
Right, I'm not allowed to. And so I decided to go full reset and just not even social media. Like I didn't even care about that anymore. The only thing I cared about was like falling back in love with art and design and becoming a designer again, because I knew I could do that from home. And then when we decided I was going to move to New York with my now wife, I was like, I don't have anything out there, so I need something that I can do remotely.
Yeah, of course.
So I really
Something
leaned.
steady. The old trusty steed, dude.
Yeah, it's been in my back pocket. It's time to,
Dust it off.
Dust it off and get back to work, get an honest living.
Yeah.
Because I knew I could do that in New York for sure. And when I came out here, I hit him up. He had started this new company, and we were making apparel for YouTubers. I was creating a lot of stuff for Matt Pat of Game Theory. He was like a big YouTuber and a lot of game stuff. Eventually I created a jacket that was an interactive puzzle experience for him. It was a huge success. I made a sequel to it. And that just really opened up the floodgates to creators wanting more bespoke product that was in this sort of marketing, engagement, social media, sweet spot where all of that stuff could come together and audiences really enjoyed it. So we started this game company, and that's what we do now. We specifically focus on large IPs or community-based IPs and create custom games around them for audiences. Like heartfelt too, not like just like, here's a crappy product. It's like I try to make something meaningful that people can enjoy. Yeah.
With true thought and intention behind it.
Exactly, yeah.
What's like the
As a fan myself.
ultimate... Yeah, what's the ultimate client for you? Like, what's the ultimate...
Oh,
man. Is there games that
we
you've
had this
made
experiment.
that are
We had
like,
this experiment. We talked about this.
Yeah.
A24.
Okay.
I would love to make a game
Really?
for A24.
Yeah.
I just love their style. I love their attitude. I love their choices and how like they curate their movies and their creators and their directors and their actors.
I
Like,
do love all their movies.
there's
It's
like a texture to it.
yeah, I could watch any A24 movie and probably
You
think
know that it's a
good, even-
seal of quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be able to take them and the way that they do it and then like insert myself into that process and then expand on that in some way, like I can't even think of a good example now, but like literally, let's take, oh God, was the Substance A24?
That one.
Which one? Backrooms. Well, that's a great example because that's like based on video games. Yeah, to be able to create
Oh,
like
there you go.
that's a great example. To be able to create like an immersive marketing, like altered reality game that is also like a repeatable tabletop experience for
Yeah.
people and something that they would be wanting to collect, but maybe the means of collecting it was kind of weird and funky.
Is there an
Yeah,
example of
that's the
that?
ultimate.
Is there an example in the past of something that's done all three of those things?
If there is, perhaps I'm not quite plugged into it, but I have a personal experience of one
Okay.
that got me, and this is maybe what tickled my fancy. I really like escape rooms, but particularly when they were sort of newer, I was very obsessed with them.
Okay.
And I remember one day I was in LA. I actually just moved out of my place in Culver City like a week out, and I get a call from my own landlord. And she's like, "Oh, you got this weird package. You should come by and pick it up." That's weird. I wasn't expecting anything. And I go, and she's got this parcel like wrapped in twine in a little bow and like crappy handwriting on it, like stamps. I'm like, "What is this?" She's like, "Can you open it in front of me? I'm just curious what you got." I was like, "Sure." And I
She
opened
wanted
it.
you to- she wanted
Yeah,
to
because she
see
was
it?
like, "What is this?" I was like, "I don't know. This is weird."
Let's do it together.
She's like, "Let's experience." And I was like, "What is it?" And I open it, and there's like a Polaroid with like a bloody fingerprint, a locket of hair tied in a bow, like weird little, like a key. And I'm just like, "What the world is this?" And then I read it, and it was like this cryptic message, and there was like, and she's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It looks
Did
like
you think it
a
was like
threat."
real? Did you think it was like an actual
A part
problem
of
going on?
initially, like you can't help it.
Yeah.
It's like a visceral reaction.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, somebody, because also like at that point,
What did I
wasn't
do?
big on the internet, but like I definitely was doing that. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, is someone messing with me?
Right.
But I was like, oh, let's Batman. Let's investigate, right? Let's be the world's greatest detective. So I go home, I look over it, I treat it like an escape room. I like look up the data on like the return address and the stamp that was kind of faded. And I look up all these things. There's a number I find a number, and it's a number for the Center of Disease Control, like telling me about like a warning that something is coming to the area. And I was like, well, this is crazy. And I look up the thing, and then I go online. I like post it online. I'm like, look at all this stuff I got. This is so weird. I don't know how I got this.
Yeah.
And then somebody on Twitter was like, oh, this other creator got a similar package. And I was like, what? And then like through that, I find that a bunch of creators did.
Okay, yeah. Connecting the dots. Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, this is like some sort of
It's a
marketing incentive. And it turned out to be for this, for the new series of The Walking Dead, like not the main one, but they were doing their first spinoff. I can't remember which one it was now. But they were promoting it. And all of these things were like puzzle pieces to solve like some greater mystery that fans could use to get something or whatever. Right. And we were just like kind of the pieces in this, unknowing pieces. In
That's
this.
crazy.
It was so crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, if you guys wouldn't have connected the dots, like, were they going to reach out?
Well,
or
that's
like,
the thing. That's just it. It's like it worked exactly as it was supposed to.
that's the craziest part.
That's
probably.
so
Yeah,
crazy.
it's all organic.
They're like,
and-
you know, they're
yeah.
going to try to figure out what's going on here.
Awesome. That's
Pretty
what I
good,
would
pretty
love
good.
to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Like,
see. So something like this. That's what you were getting at.
I would
yeah.
love to create something like that.
Yeah.
And then at
That
the
is
end of it,
cool.
it's like now maybe at the end of it, they get the game and they can like take it home and like play it with their friends. And like maybe it's some creative game that causes everyone to like have conversations about something. And then like you get to learn about each other, but then also feel like you reached a result. I love
Right.
games like that. I think
Yeah.
they're really fun. So that's like the dream, I think.
But in that case, they targeted all creators, knowing that you're probably going to post it, and then it
I
would
think
cause
they knew.
variety.
I'm sure some people did it.
Virality.
I'm
Yeah.
sure some
They're
people
like
were
these these influencers, all they know how to do is post. They're gonna post this on the
Yeah, they
internet
can't
right
help
now.
themselves.
They're gonna have to do
they
it.
have to post it.
We got
They
'em.
can't keep this to themselves.
It was Skybound Entertainment that did it. And funny enough, I had hosted for them.
got
That's why they had me on their list. So like they were like, he's one of our puns now.
Yeah, he's gonna do it 100%. Give him 10 minutes.
He can't answer anything by himself. There's no AI yet. He's got to use social media. Which is so funny because now brands do that now. They just send you like packages hoping you post about it. And like,
Right.
oh, look, I got a care package from
Let's
Head and
open it.
Shoulders.
Let's open it.
Yeah, let's open it.
You guys get a lot of stuff?
Oh
Still?
my God.
You get a
My
lot?
front door.
Is it crazy?
Dude.
Hopefully people don't take it off your front door.
Well, we've had a few things
Yeah.
stolen, which sucks. Like, people are the worst. But
Yeah,
for the
it's
most
New
part,
York.
it's New York.
It's part of living
But
here.
for the most part, they don't. And Rachel gets so much stuff. She made a joke because I got 4 things this week. She's like, "Oh, someone's busy." I was like,
She's got what, 40?
Yeah, dude, she gets like 5 packages a day.
That's crazy. What did you do with all of it? I mean,
Well, some of them are just like brand sending her stuff, but a lot is like, given the nature of what she does, she's constantly getting like new clothes, new products. She's trying things out. She's posting about it so people can try it.
Right.
Sometimes it is stuff for brand deals. She's got to film a video for it, or they send her this dress to wear to this event. So it's like
okay.
this
Some of
is
it's-
constant
okay,
flow
yeah.
stuff,
just stuff.
you know, in and out. And it's so funny because people come by our house on the weekend hoping we put it out because sometimes we just got to get rid of it. We got too much stuff.
Last question for me. Actually, my question would be, as someone who's on the other side of, so 99.9% of people just absorb content, in my opinion, right? As someone who's on the other side of making it, what would you tell the people what do you want to tell the people that don't make it about the people who do? Is there anything that I need to know about the other side of the of the camera?
I mean, they're people.
Yeah.
And they're just trying their best, right? And I think we are all inclined to share our thoughts, especially when they're opposed to our viewpoints. You know, like I think human nature, we're inclined to be like,
as we
"Well,
should. We
actually,"
should speak up when we feel something, but
we should.
Yeah.
But I think how we speak up is important.
Right.
And I think don't lead with hate. Don't lead with visceral. Like, lead with constructive thoughts and try to uplift your fellow man because that comes around, right? I think it speaks more about you, how you speak to other people, than it does about what you're speaking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Not what you said, but how you said it, of course.
Yeah, of course, exactly. And that person is likely going to read what you wrote. And like, are you trying to crush them or are you trying to help them? Like, where is what you're saying coming from?
Right.
Is it coming from the heart or is it coming from your ass? You know what I mean? Like, you're just trying to shit on them, you know, or are you trying to be a good person?
Right.
And like, think about that before you post and try to tear somebody a new one, right? And if it's something that you strongly disagree with, then likely leaving a comment isn't going to be the solution. There would be another course of action, right? If someone's doing something illegal, just leaving a comment's not going to save the situation, right? Contact a local authority. I'm not saying to call the cops on people. I'm saying, like, if you see something, a real problem, then find a real solution. Just leaving a comment isn't a solution, right? And just, you know, how would you want someone to speak to you? And it's always a work in progress. Everyone's a work in progress, and that both as a person and as a content creator.
Yeah.
And give them that grace, give them that space to explore.
It's a really good point. I think that there's definitely so much hate for people that are on the other side. It's like when you go to a professional sporting event, right? Like, I mean,
Right.
99.9 of us are here to watch them, you know? Like,
I could've
and
made that 3.
I'm on Instagram and like I'm here to watch anyone who's actually making the content, but 99.9 of us are just absorbing it, right?
Yeah.
And like, so it's very easy to just be like, well, and I think the other thing is I think more people want to be on the other side than they admit.
They project.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people who just don't know how to do it, but they would love to be the ones talking about beauty or what. Like, I think a lot of people would love it and just don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And it comes out as, well, you know what? Then fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
You know?
snack back that I've always thought was really funny is when someone like gives this harsh criticism and the response from the creator is always like, well, I can't wait to watch your video.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah, exactly.
It's like, if you're an expert, then educate me.
Yeah.
Do it better.
But they're not in the ring and they
They're not
don't
in the-
deserve
they got no
any of
skin
the
in the
credit. Yeah. Yeah.
And so just remember that. Like, that's
Yeah.
a person being vulnerable and like
And trying.
Trying.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with trying, and you will fail, and you might be incorrect. And sure, some people are flagrant with their, with their attempt. Like they don't care what they say or who they say it to.
Yeah.
Sure, identify those people. Ignore. The best thing you can do is not engage.
Right.
Your hatred in
let
that
them die on
comment
the
is actually
vine.
beneficial to them.
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Like, there's a
Flame
phrase that
flame in the
sucks.
fire.
Yeah, flame in the fire. And like we always say, like, you've made it when you've got haters,
Yeah.
because the average person doesn't have them.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
They're
Doing
not
something,
doing
you're
anything
doing
to
something
generate
right
haters.
if somebody's hating you.
You're trying,
for sure.
at least. You're putting yourself out there and exposing yourself and opening yourself up to the possibility of haters, which is the scariest part about all of it.
Right.
Is that you might fail, you might not do a good job, and nobody does when they start. That's definitely a great piece of advice. Is like everybody sucks, and as Jake from Adventure Time once said, sucking at something is the first step to being sort of kind of good at something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the only way you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
so
don't
true.
bash someone for trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Uplift them for putting forth that effort to, obviously and honestly, to entertain you.
Right.
Right? Why are you hating someone who's trying to make your life better?
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. Good.
Can you make a game for good traffic?
Hell yeah. It's going to be, actually, it would be so fun is a game where, this is like coming to me right now. Like what if we miniaturize the process of vinyl wrapping, and we create a game where you have to try to like evenly vinyl wrap something with like, with textures like bumps and stuff like that. And then like, the players at the end, like you have a time limit and then everyone judges to see who did like the best job. But then it's like redoable. You could like peel it off.
Oh,
Yeah,
love
you
that.
can take it back off.
That'd be
great.
kind of fun.
That's actually a great idea.
Or you're like navigating little courses with like the squeegees and trying to like get through keep the vinyls. I don't know, just something textural like that would be really cool.
Something related to
Yeah.
vinyl.
That would be very on brand. Yeah. Like the tangible, sticky.
Yeah. Is this satisfying? You
Yeah.
guys gotta tell me. When you're like pushing those bubbles out.
It's pretty sad.
It is. It's like
Best feeling.
We
in
were
the
talking
world.
about
It's kinda
yesterday.
therapeutic,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very therapeutic. Like if you get in a nice zone with like, as long as the car's not too hard to wrap, because then it's
Yeah.
just annoying.
What
Like
car's
a nice
the worst?
zone.
Wrangler?
Like a
You already knew.
Land Rover, Jeep Wrangler, like
the big
anything
boxy
boxy.
cars.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I mean,
you would think
yeah,
the straight lines.
No, you gotta. I mean, you're not seaming things together, right? It's one piece, so it's like coming to the corner, and no, it's almost.
It's so
impossible.
funny because this, going back to what we were saying, like this is the kind of content that I stop and watch. I actually get vinyl wrapping videos.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, of course you do.
Yeah. Well,
The
it's been a
algorithm
while
knows.
though, but they come in waves.
Really?
Yeah, but those they're fascinating, right?
Fascinating with the heat gun.
Yeah.
And then like I can't. And then it's always a guy wearing headphones doing it.
Yeah.
And then they take the knife tape.
Yeah, the
and then
ASMR is nice on it.
dude.
Yeah.
It's so like texturally satisfying.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easy win for us, like socially, social
Yeah.
media. All right, Leo, thanks so much for coming on
Yeah,
today. 30 seconds to tell the camera, your camera's here. Tell the camera what you want the world to know.
I want the world to know that you should just be good to people. You know what I mean? And I don't care if you follow me or not. Like that's irrelevant. If you follow me, that's very cool. I will happily have you and engage with you if I can, if you reach out. But just be good to people on the internet and do good by your community. Like be a part of your community and help people out nearby. Just like how I met you. I was just walking by and now we're buds. And that's what it's all about. Supporting the people around you. Rising tide floats all boats. If you do want to follow me, I'm at Mr. Leo Zombie. It was a gamer tag that is my name forever now. And this month, later on this month, I'm riding in the Distinguished Gentleman Ride, which
Awesome.
is a ride for charity to raise awareness and funds for men's cancer, prostate research, mental health. And it's all done in partnership with Movember. I have a page through the Gentleman's Ride / Leo and Rach is our account. We're ambassadors. We'll be riding thousands of motorcycles in every major city
I
in the
should
world.
join. I should
You
join.
should totally go
Yeah.
for a ride. And the after party right here, Gotham Motor Depot in our local community.
Okay, yeah.
May 17th, come by, come hang out.
Awesome.
You too, dude.
Hell yeah.
You right?
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
bring
dude,
my
you'll be there.
Kawasaki.
Oh yeah, that little
if
that
it
little
can handle it.
putt.
Yeah, baby.
Just show it up. People will like.
All right, May
check it out.
17th. I think we're
May
in town.
17th.
We should do that.
Be good to the people around you guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome, dude.
Thank you guys for having me. It was an honor.
Thanks for being here, dude.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man.
All right.
Good to meet you.
Take one of those.